Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Wareed.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
We have a really a question. I think this question was I found this in the suggestion box,
Okay.
and I think it's posted by one of our youth, and it seems probably one of those like middle school students. My question is this: whether this is allowed or not. I'm not sure. What do you?
Is it allowed to watch it? Is it allowed?
So kids have been, talking to each other like this and joking about it. And, I know one of the kids that I know, she called herself Sigma. She's the Sigma, which means like it is a popular person, but obscure, like in hiding, but she's popular or he's popular instead of alpha. And, these are trends from, TikTok and and kids. What I'm seeing is like this has turned into a culture, and kids sometimes become a little more opinionated, which is it's okay to be opinionated, but then with an attitude, you tell them, "Hey, it's time for prayer," and they say, "Oh, we're rebellious. You don't tell us what to do." Things of that nature. And I'm not trying to show that this is what they mean by it, but they keep joking about it, and it obviously it is in our community because this question is posted in our community. So what do you think of all these trends and the effects of TikTok and social media and Instagram and these trends that happen and faster than we can ever track?
First of all, let me start with the programs that are available on TVs, on Netflix, on YouTube, and social media in relation to cartoon characters and stories like that, or even songs. I remember Sheikh Muhammad Sharif rahimahullah had a lecture. It's called Third Parent.
Wow.
The Third Parent, which is TV. Our children sometimes are taught by TV and by social media way more than us.
Yeah.
There is a study I read a long time ago that an average parent, or an average father spend like 15 minutes, something like that, a week or a day, with his children. And I think way less than that. And I think it's way less than that right now. That we don't spend much quality time with our children. Right. And I challenge you, and I ask you, try to look how many minutes you have spent with your children yesterday. Just try to figure it out. Most of the people I ask, they don't have that concept at dinner together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about kids in elementary school. We don't spend time with them. So if we don't spend time with them, who spend more time with them? Is the one who make these movies and make these, songs and start these trends. And those people, they don't look for the best interest of your children.
That's very true.
They look for money, they look for fame, and some of them even to share the corruption idea that they have. And all of a sudden you find, how's my daughter thinking this way? How my son, daughter think this way? It is because of what they've been exposed to day and night. Then you come here to try to fix the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it became much, much harder, as we know, Al-Fuqaha rahimahullah talked about, Muslim scholars long time ago, الدفع أسهل من الرفع. Prevention better than cure.
Right.
Much easier than cure.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me say what I do now. It's too late. My kids are exposed to these things. So if your kid's not exposed fully to these things, make sure that you limit the amount of time. In some countries, they are talking now about limiting the amount of hours children can be, exposed to screens, regardless what it is. It's a phone, or it is tablet, or it is a
TV.
Mm-hmm. Some countries now, they want to say before 2 years old is not allowed to let them exposed to TV series and watch. There's a lot of talks about this. So I think if they are young and this is something you can control, go ahead and do that. And control it in a way that it is moderate, control how many hours they spend. Not only that, don't think because it's a children program, not because it's a YouTube for kids, it means it's really good and it's safe. That's not the case. Or because you put a parenting like watch, that's a good tool to have, but it's not 100%. And be very careful of what they learn, because sometimes they learn kufr, shirk, bad manners, just for them to be so numb to the fact of girlfriends, boyfriends.
Normalize it.
Normalize it completely. Kissing. It became so normalized that, and we see this in our masjid, in Ramadan, and you see the girls and the boys in high school, they don't feel any problem of hanging out together and being so close to each other versus generation before that. Just too close to the woman, it feels like, okay, I have to give her a space. There's a privacy. Now they don't feel any wrong with that. I think because they're so used to this kind of images, this used kind of, and basically no haya. It doesn't matter what show from my body, because I always see this as a norm. Not only they are stars, they are like cool, they are character and so on. Even shirk, this is a true story. Okay, it might be a little bit old, but we can make it relevant. So one of the brother, he doesn't have a TV in his house, long time ago, like when I was growing up. So his son is always exposed to Islamic stuff, and even if you go online. So one day his son was mixing with a group of kids. So every one of these kids start mentioning of these cartoon character. Sindbad, Grandizer, some of these characters older. Then this kid's turn came in a public school, and he doesn't know anyone. Then he said, Badr, or Al-Anfal, something like that, just surah of Quran. He doesn't know.
Right.
So, that's so innocent, but it shows the purity of the heart.
Right.
And I'm not saying I don't want your kids to know what's going on in the world, but also just don't trust because it's PG-13. It means really PG. PG, it doesn't mean PG, Be very careful what you are exposing your children to. The standard of morality is not according to Hollywood. It's not according to Disney. It is according to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have taught you, because we are responsible for that. And especially teaching them good manners.
Yeah.
Good principles in life. So I'm glad you brought this up. I can't really comment on the specific, but the concept, I'm glad that we're able to create an awareness about this issue, and we talk more about it, watch it, try to listen to what they do, and don't be just passive about it.
Perhaps we can have, a lecture, detailing all of this.
Yeah, maybe we can bring an expert even to speak about that.
TikTok has been known to have a, very, very strong influence on people. Regardless of
I
age.
believe you should not let your kids download TikTok. Period.
Yeah.
If there are any, because even me, sometimes I get question answering TikTok and stuff like that. I don't use it much, but even me, I don't open it. I have some people who manage it, because every time you open it, the TikTok is one of these social media that, let's say I follow Sheikh Ibrahim in YouTube. I always get Sheikh Ibrahim, get Islamic stuff related,
right.
But in TikTok it's not the case. You always get weird things. So
out of
the blue, you almost exposed to things which is haram and disgusting and thing of that nature. So can you imagine your kids? How can you feel safe for your kids to be exposed to something like that? Anyway.
Jazakallah khair, barakallah feek, Sheikh. I think we will have to actually talk more about this topic, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.